Are you looking for participating in a clinical study, but you can't find one near you? Is it hard for you to find a clinical study where you live? Well, we are here for a solution. 123trials.com allows you to directly apply and participate in a clinical study near you. It doesn't matter where you are. You can access 123trials.com anywhere on mobile and desktop devices. Open a web browser on any of your devices and search for 123trials.com, and search for the preferred study that you would like to take part in. For example, if you want to take part in a cancer study, just search for cancer and it will automatically find the nearest results near you. Clicking on one of the studies will lead you to an overview of the study. You can view contact details and location of the study. In order to check if you are eligible for the study, you need to sign up or sign in. It will only take less than 5 minutes. After signing up, click on Check My Eligibility to see if you are eligible for the study. You will be asked some questions based on the study. After answering the questions, you can continue to the consent page. I will show how the consent process is done by using ClinConsent. On successful login, a dashboard is displayed with the list of consent forms you need to read and sign electronically. You can choose the preferred language in which you would like to give the consent. Click on Start to begin the consent process. You are presented with a list of sections describing the study and process you need to understand completely before signing the consent electronically. In case you have a question anywhere during this process, click on the icon to chat with a site coordinator and get help instantly. You will be presented with a video to help you understand the study process. You are not allowed to skip the video until it is completed. Click on Show Video Transcription if you want to read the narration within the video. Once the section is complete, click on the next icon to continue with the next section. The document reading progress can be tracked using the progress bar. The document can be played using play button. You can see the detailed description of the terminology by clicking on the glossary link. When necessary, initials sign pad is displayed to sign for the required section. Upon signing your initials, next section can be viewed. Click on the next page icon to continue with next page in the same section. Now let's go through the quiz section. Quiz section will have multiple choice questions based on your understanding from previous sections. You can click back on the completed sections anytime during the quiz. Based on the answer you have chosen, feedback message will be displayed. If the answer is incorrect, you can click on the link provided in the feedback message to watch the relevant section. You can accept the consent terms as a participant in the study here. In case you want to bookmark any field, then you can click on bookmark icon and review later. Before clicking accept, if you have any pending bookmarks and queries, you need to review it and proceed to accept the consent. You need to select the checkboxes to accept the terms and conditions before signing the consent electronically. You are not allowed to sign without accepting the terms and conditions. Select all the checkboxes and click on Accept button. You can decline or retake the entire consent process if you like to do so. You can upload the attachment by clicking on the attachment icon or to view the attached document. Clicking on the Accept will prompt you to sign the document electronically. Click Save once done. The signature, date and time is recorded immediately. If you took assistance during the consent process, click Yes and enter the details of the person who assisted. Click Submit once done. You will be navigated back to the dashboard to view the signed PDF and start on the next consent form. Click on PDF button to view or print the signed document along with the transaction proof and participant details. Next consent form will have the Start button enabled only if you have accepted the consent in the previous form. By finishing the consent process, we will call you to reconfirm the participation in the study. Then we will send your details and consent forms to the clinical site. Finally, if you get approved by the clinical site, you will receive a notification or an email from us for visiting the site for a physical screening. That's all you have to do for participating in a clinical study. 123trials.com. We make it simple. Hi there, I am here to give you a demo of how you can create forms using ClinConsent's admin portal. First of all, you need to be logged in as a system administrator or EIC form designer to create forms. So let's get started. Make sure you are in Informed Consent List tab in order to create forms. Click on Add EIC button on the bottom right corner to create a new consent form. Add a label and a name for the consent form. Click on Save to confirm. You will receive a short pop-up notice on the top if it's done. Click on the Edit icon to edit the newly created form. I will explain all other features listed here after creating a form. On the left side of the page you can see the contents in a consent form. All your sections and fields will be listed here. On the top right you will have the options to add language, create a glossary and change the properties of the current form. By default you will have a section. Each header that you will see is a section. You can always edit the current section by clicking section options. For instance, if you want to change the header name you can do it here. After renaming the header, click on Update at the bottom to make changes. In order to edit a section, click on the header to expand it. Here you can add multiple fields as per your needs. There are fields like radio button, text, number, checkbox, list, pick list, date, time, email, PDF, label, document, article, video, page break and signature pad. For the purpose of this video, I am going to select the video field to show how you can edit the field properties as per your need. Click on Edit Field Property to edit the properties of this video field. You can change the label of the video from here. You also can change the video type with a URL of the video, or you can upload your own video file. For now, I am going to paste a URL of a YouTube video. You can control the size of the video player from here. For now, I am going to set it to 70%. In case you want to add transcription for the video, you can do it from here. Click on Add Transcription button and enter the text suitable for the video. You can customize the text here as well. Click on Submit when done. Finally, click on the Update button at the bottom right to make the changes. Now let's add a section again with an article and initials. Let's rename the header to Volunteer Data. You can turn on the initials by clicking the Initials Required switch. Click on Update to make the changes. Now let's add an article field to this section. Expand the header and click on Create a new field, then select Article. In order to add content to the article, click on Edit Content. Here you can paste anything. For now, I am going to paste a sample article. Click on Save once done. You always can change the title from here. This time there is a narration option for the text article which you can enable or disable. You can upload your own audio for the text, or you have the option to choose from different audio voices. Click on Update to make the changes. You can see that the narration we enabled is seen here as a media player. Click the play icon to play the narration. Now, if you want another article on the same page, you can add a page break from the fields. Go ahead and add an article field. Now the pages will be separated in the same section. Now let's add a signature pad at the end of this section. Click on Create a new field and choose Signature Pad. Let's move on to the quiz section now. Click on Add Section and choose Quiz Section. Let's rename the quiz section to answer the following carefully. Expand it and create a new radio button field. I will label the quiz question as How old are you? Here you can change the type to list. For now I will enable this. You can add the options for the quiz from here. Enter the quiz options vertically. Let's make the changes. Let's create another radio button. This time I will ask a question and the participant should answer it correctly. I will label the question as What is MRI? Enter the options like before and click Update to make changes. Now let's see how can we add quiz answers for the selected quiz. Select the Define Quiz Answer from the section options. Here you can set validation messages for the quiz you have selected. You can enter a pass or a failure message if the answer is incorrect. If the answer is incorrect, you can set a link to the particular section where the answer is stated. For that, click on the checkbox here. Now let's create the final part of the consent, which is the declaration part. For that, you have to create a new section and enable the declaration switch in the section options. Let's rename it to Signing Consent. You also can add checkboxes and date of signing the consent here. There is also an option to attach documents to the consent form. For that, let's create a radio button and select the Enable Attachment switch in the field options. We are almost done with the form creation part. But what if there is some medical terms that a volunteer couldn't understand? For that, there is a glossary option at the top of the page. Here you can add a word in the glossary and set its meaning manually. I am going to set the word as MRI so that the volunteers would see a highlighted text to click and view the meaning. We are done with the form creation part here. There is also an option to add multiple languages to the consent form. Now, as a EIC form designer or a system administrator, you can go back to the EIC form lists and preview the form that you have created. Now let's see how you can assign this form to a particular study. But before assigning, you will need the form to be approved by the IRB team. After the approval, we can assign this form to a study. Go to Study Manager and click on Add a new study. I will rename this as Study Demo. Select a site that you want the study to be in. You also can create multiple sites. Click on Save once done. Now let's add our newly created form to this study. Go to the eConsent tab in the study list and click on Add Flow to create a new flow. Enter the name of the flow and select the EIC document you want to assign to this study. Click on Add to make the changes. Select the sites that you want. Finally, click on Save to save this flow. Now go to the study list and click on Add Volunteer to add volunteers to this study. Select the volunteer, site, flow, and due date of this consent form and click on Assign. Now you have successfully assigned this study to the selected volunteer. He or she will receive an email by ClinConsent with the username and password to log in for the consent process. That's it. This is how you create a consent form using ClinConsent's admin portal.